Well, there it is. My name is Witty, welcome to my review for Nova Covert Ops. My opinions are my own, but you should take into account that I have received Nova Covert Ops Mission Pack 1 for free in exchange for my review of my experiences. This review will contain video footage of my playthrough for Covert Ops, but the audio will remain non-spoilerific, so if you want to know more about the game without spoilers, then minimize the video and treat this video as a podcast instead, as I divulge to you what Nova Covert Ops is and my experiences with the game. Nova Covert Ops is the first downloadable content pack for Starcraft 2 that will extend the Starcraft universe, with Blizzard potentially creating more to follow depending on how well it is received by fans. Nova Covert Ops is broken into 3 mission packs consisting of 3 missions each, for a total of 9 missions that continue the Starcraft story several years after the events of Legacy of the Void. The first mission pack is available for purchase since March the 29th, with the other 2 mission packs being released sometime up until the 1st of December 2016. The story follows Nova as she battles through the Kaprulu sector, defending Valerian Minsk and the Dominion from the secretive Terran group the Defenders of Man, whilst attempting to uncover the truth behind the disappearance of several Dominion ghost operatives, including her own. Let's talk about Mission Pack 1, which I have had the chance to play through and complete on Brutal. The mission pack is short, too short, but what it lacks in length it compensates for with a strong story told narratively through the gameplay. Particularly on the solo Nova hero missions, which were by far my favourite. Think of the prologue missions for Legacy of the Void with Seratol, but much more fleshed out and fun. So think of it as, well, think of Nova as Seratol 2.0. 3 missions is what this pack consisted of, but it felt like there were more, as 2 missions had multiple parts, each serving a purpose that helped to keep the pace of the story moving with fun gameplay mechanics. There were times where you would focus on building a base to survive an onslaught, a very grounded style of mission that players will be familiar with, and other times where you would explore the story with Nova as a solo hero, much like Kerrigan during Heart of the Swarm, and tackle obstacles and boss fights. I enjoyed all of these elements, particularly since you can customize Nova's equipment to accommodate to the mission at hand, or just try something new. Fancy a shotgun instead of a rifle? Or a jetpack instead of stealth? You can do that here. You are also able to upgrade your units with abilities such as extra range and vision to healing stim packs or even jump jetting tanks. Many of these abilities overlap among the other units, so you must decide carefully if you want your Marines to have extra vision or to give that to your Marauders instead so your Marines can take the stim pack. This made me feel like I was carving the path towards achieving my goal and the mission objective. Alas, these upgrades for Nova and your heroes can only be experimented and played with a couple of times, as the mission pack is soon over after your 3 missions are done, which leaves you disappointed but still wanting more. The different customizations do add to replay value, should you choose to take on the missions with a different style, but will you? The story is consistently fed to you through character interactions, to exploring the in-game levels, and there is a healthy dose of in-game cutscenes that give life to the characters and a sense of grounded reality for the situation they find themselves in. Regardless of what you may think of the StarCraft 2 storyline, it has always told the story well through these methods and continues to push that interaction with the character and the player even further here. The voice acting is good, and the soundtrack, the music, is fantastic. I actually really started to get into a lot of it, so I started perking up quite a lot when the soundtrack started kicking in. I think 9 missions being broken into 3 mission packs each is typical of Blizzard trying to get as much bang for their buck as possible, and it's not surprising of their marketing tactics. Well, especially during the last few years, I think it's safe to say it's somewhat expected. All 9 missions in one DLC pack would make for a fantastic experience, especially if the remaining missions prove to be as engaging as the ones I've played thus far, but it is instead spread over multiple mission packs, which dilutes that experience. I get a strong vibe of The Hobbit from this, where you could just have given us the whole thing in one playthrough, and that would have been a great fun ride. Instead, it's a roller coaster that stops for potentially a 1 to 2 month break in between the loops. So I completed all 3 missions with no prior knowledge of how they played on Brutal difficulty in under 2 hours. The difficulty was mostly challenging, with the base building missions being the toughest for sure, whilst the Nova Hero missions being more explorative and relaxing, as you discover more of the story. I think they worked well for the most part, as it was a chance to wind down a bit after the stress of the survive 20,000 units attacking you scenario that StarCraft 2 loves to use. However, I did feel that Nova could have done with another ability or two to further increase the depth of how you play her mechanically during her solo missions. You can pre-purchase the entire free mission packs as one installment for $15, or each mission pack individually for $7.49, or for your regional currency equivalent. For me this is British pounds, so £11.99 for the entire bundle, or £5.99 each. So this is where I am by default biased, due to my nature in which I receive this product for free. I can't tell you whether this is worthwhile for £6, as I didn't pay for it with my own cash, so my true feelings aren't really exposed. But what I can do is ask you simply, is 2 hours of more Starcraft 2 worth £6 to you? This may sound a little snarky, but it's not actually my intention. In fact, this is one of the most enjoyable Starcraft 2 campaign experiences to date for me. I really like how there is much more of a focus on the individual character progression for Nova, as opposed to the Starcraft 2 trilogy story of let's stop the end of the world cliche. So Starcraft does have a rich universe in which you can take a small sector and discover the stories within it to be told, and that's great! You don't need a cliche, we must defeat the big bad story every time. This is just a chance for a different type of story to be told, and that's what I hope to see from Nova Covert Ops in the rest of the mission packs. So will you try Starcraft 2 Nova Covert Ops? Let me know in the comments section below what you think. Thank you very much for watching this video, and take care. I'll see you later.